tell his own story. Yeah, the one them called Celestial represent for the mighty lion voice. And this a shook up your planet tectonic. As me sip up my roots and tectonic. And you can't make me jump nor get panic. Have the engine a run like mechanic. Room.
Amina, the time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up Lamb's voice. Now put it, I Jollifer said that.
This is Sangy Davis. It's time for the lion to Ika. For unity is strength. Let us come together, my brethren and sisters, and forward to the motherland. Enough love. This is the lion's voice.
Haile.
Ja
Rastafari.
I'm Nana Farika. The time has come for the lioness to tell her story from her viewpoint and tell the world who Queen Omega is. This is the lion's voice.
When we go to Ethiopia now, I went up to Idris Agora, where His Majesty birthplace. So just keep learning more about His Majesty, because within the Orthodox Church, they never stop you from learning about His Majesty. There was a period where some priests was saying that they want to detach from His Majesty because man was still hailing His Majesty as the Almighty, but the church doesn't preach that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's not the principle of the church. But because also some persons come into the church by a revelation from His Majesty, and man of them experience. So come back from Ethiopia, they wanted me to ordain as priest in Ethiopia. But that couldn't happen because I didn't go far. I just went for a visit. They wanted me to miss my flight and stay in Ethiopia and ordain, but that never happened. Come back in Jamaica as a deacon, see me. But I learned some things and brought some books.
Yes.
And was still going on.
Well, from to us a son was born and a child was given.
I want to ask you a question. Have you got your book? Haile Selassie's Ethiopia Volume 1, The Rise of the Priest Warrior King. I've read the book in its entirety, and I must say it's very inspirational, very informative, and very historical, right?
Them call him Rastafari. When he was born, rain fall from the sky. Them call him Rastafari. When he was grown in airplanes he fly. They call him Rastafari. The lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Them call him Rastafari. Read the Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Then born near the city of Harar, the inspiration for Bob Marley's guitar. People crowd him like some big superstar. It no matter if England.
Coming up now to becoming a priest within the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. But before that, I went to Ethiopia as a deacon through the Bob Marley Museum.
Okay.
They sent me to Ethiopia in 2011. Stop in Cairo. So all those time is just learning and learning. Stop in Cairo in Egypt, and then me alone go to Ethiopia. When we go to Ethiopia now, I went up to Idris Agora, where His Majesty birthplace. So just keep learning more about His Majesty, because within the Orthodox Church, they never stop you from learning about His Majesty. There was a period where some priests was saying that they want to detach from His Majesty because man was still hailing His Majesty as the Almighty, but the church doesn't preach that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's not the principle of the church. But because also some persons come into the church by a revelation from His Majesty, and man of them experience. So come back from Ethiopia, they wanted me to ordain as priest in Ethiopia. But that couldn't happen because I didn't go far. I just went for a visit. They wanted me to miss my flight and stay in Ethiopia and ordain, but that never happened. Come back in Jamaica as a deacon, see me. But I learned some things and brought some books.
Yes.
And was still going on. Then now, the Archbishop who His Majesty sent in 1970 for Abuna Isaac, his name was Abba Mandefro that he came with.
Yes.
He passed away. You know, so that I shepherd that in 2005. He passed away, you know what I mean? That was a big blow to the church here because he had gone independent because there was two patriarchs. I don't know if you know about that story.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But I
But
can go into it because it was a
yeah,
big controversy.
yeah, because of the Derg regime, because after 1974, when they overthrew the empire, you know what I mean? A lot of things, a lot of people start going to exile now because now, he was just follow His Majesty or adhere to the emperor. All of that start mashed down. Now they are bringing prime minister, presidents, and a lot of evil start to take place within
Yes.
Ethiopia. So while Abuna Makoros was alive, they elect Abuna Paulus under the Derg regime, and that was very illegal because you only have to have one patriarch alive. So Abuna Makoros went in exile in America, and Abuna Isaac was already establishing church because His Majesty sent him in 1970 through the
Yes.
request of the Rastafarian. And now we're going to one of the topics on the flyer that they did, how the
Yes.
church came to Jamaica.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So through the request of the Rastafarian brethren from 1930, with Leonard P. Howell, some Rastas, there was no Afrocentric church in Jamaica. Anglican, Catholic, Protestant. Because all of them were protesting from Roman Catholic. All of those churches are breaker from
Yes.
Catholic churches. And we, as Ethiopia, have one of the oldest church in the world. Roman Catholic is after Ethiopian Orthodox Church. That can be proven over and over again.
Yeah, man.
When a person wants to feel like Rome are the one who crucified Christ. Julius Caesar, Herod, and all of them were Roman. So I don't know how them come claim Christ and none of them crucify him. And crucify all the Christians. I don't know when the table turned. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Well,
The
we know
verse
it's Constantine and Byzantine Empire and all these things, Council of Nicaea.
Yeah, when Christ went in exile in Egypt because Herod was looking to kill him at 2 years old. Which white man could have got in Egypt and them not find him? In a black country. He went in Ethiopia for 3 months and he was in Egypt for 2 years. You know what I mean? So which white man and white woman could have got in a black country and not be spotted and even a bounty on them head to take? It must be black, must be Cushite. So even the thing about black Christ was white, that alone dispel that misconception about Christ being Caucasian.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So the two patriarchs was a illegal thing. So Abuna Isaac declared himself independent. So Jamaica churches start to get a lot of fight, or all the churches established up until today, because now the synod in Ethiopia not seeing him as legitimate because they have Abuna Paulus as the patriarch when he was saying. So he took a revolutionary stand, but he was
Okay.
still being the bishop in Jamaica and carrying on the church. So even as a youth, he never exposed us to all of the politics. He was just still being a shepherd and teaching us the way of the church. Because he never separated from the synod, but he never uphold the principle, which was wrong.
Yes.
So he passed away, and then the church going to some court cases. But while we give thanks to His Majesty, and His Majesty was always a guiding light, because the history of His Majesty going into exile, we're going to backtrack now, in 1936.
Yes.
His Majesty, when the Mengistu, when the Italians, because they tried in the Battle of Adwa in the 18th century, and they lost that battle, and then they came back again in 1936 because Ethiopia was the only country that wasn't colonized. So when His Majesty came back on Victory Day, May 5th, 1941, to Ethiopia, Ethiopia was still ruling under the See of St. Mark, which is the Egyptian Coptic Church.
Yes.
Because they're the one who, the Coptic Church crowned His Majesty in 1930.
Yes.
So Ethiopia, there was no patriarch in Ethiopia for 1,600 years. They have to be sending, or whenever time of ordination or anything to take place, persons have to be coming over from Egypt to Ethiopia. Ethiopians, they are just humble. What the reason why they never ask for them sovereignty because they're just humble people them, you know. They were just like a sheep go to the slaughterhouse, they just put them head. You know what I mean? A sheep they even make a sound, you know. But when His Majesty came back, Abuna Quirrellus, who was the patriarch in Egypt at that time, he took side with the Italians. Yeah, him sell out. So His Majesty didn't like that, you know what I mean? Because they didn't believe that he was going to come back. You know, like you gone or them feel say, I hate that film now, you know?
Yeah, yes, yes.
Exile, there's no return back for him. There was no hope for him to return back in Ethiopia. And you understand? Well, enough people might feel that because His Majesty never come back to Ethiopia, wouldn't even dare to know what type on lion voice.
When the leaders of the world are feeling their responsibility to lead the youth them to a brighter future. Well, I and I hear the conquering line of the tribe of Judah, Earth's rightful ruler. Just the Ras Tafari crowd, unconquerable. We come to tell them about Babylon, they're falling down.
Alright, in a culture sound, you me a million, but give
we
it
come to tell them about the Ras Tafari crowd, unconquerable. We come to tell them about Babylon, they're falling down. Tafari, uncle you. We come to tell them about Holy Palace intrigue, infighting between Solomon seed. Well, Empress tied to want her family to lead. Well, King Michael wants his son King Michael. Now watch the orphan married to him niece, who get up every day and a study and a read. He work and he pray every day. He achieve. Them say you're the leader. Every nation leader just wave us Tafari crown. Unconquerable. Me come to tell them about Babylon, they're falling down. Me come to tell them about the Ras Tafari crown, unconquerable. Me come to tell them about Babylon, they're falling down. Tafari, this uncle you. Well, Ras Michael, son was having a good time when he should mind the affairs of the state, cause he's descent from the great line of Menelik II. But he's stepping on toes of his elders, treat his women like hoes he exposed. Now be working with the Ottoman Turks, say he's descending from Muhammad, but that's not how this works. See, the crown was anointed by the Orthodox Church, so if you're all ruling as I don't have to put Christ first.